Bang. And just like that, we're back. Well, reporter's back on the scene, crispy and clean with a pocket full of lean and all that good shit. Hombre Lobro in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Like, share, subscribe, hit the buttons, hit all the buttons, do all the things. We appreciate you. TJ in the building through the fire pot. You know what? Let me stop fucking around. Go ahead and hit this invite button. Hang on 1 second. Let me just do the things that I'm supposed to do. Paste. Bang. Done deal. Harmonize, first to show up. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you in the chat. We are here in the building. Finally have my hands around Gout's neck. Mr. Chillout's been working on a few new projects. I think Mr. Maverick's political responsibilities have finally, you know, calmed down just a bit. I don't think he'll be with us tonight, but he was with us last night celebrating Veterans Day and the Marine Corps birthday. But we've been missing in action for a little while. The month of October was a bitch, especially in preparation for the boxing event. I'm sure you saw us all commentating that, so then there's that. And as you all know, I feel like my feet have been cut off by some cartel members. They have not, I assure you. But it's good to be back. How you feeling, Mr. Chill Out?
I'm always amazing to be alive, staying focused and working what we're supposed to do, strive to get better every day. You already know. How have you been
Word,
feeling,
word,
bro?
word. What's that?
I said, how have you been feeling? I know that Gal has been rumbling you in the ring, and you've been having your own boxing match.
Listen, this gout piece is a real deal opponent. Right when I think it's like on its way all the way out the door, I go to sleep, wake up the next morning, unable to walk.
Mm.
But you know, the missus she takes care of me and everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and drink it. No worries. I got my daughter over here pouring me cups of juice. Got the missus, you know, taking care of me. So it is
Blessings,
what it is.
blessings, blessings.
Nothing to make you feel a lot more alive than a little bit of pain, you know. So
Yeah. Don't we know it? Don't we know it? So we
when you
jumping
don't
in.
feel pain, you got to question, am I here? Huh?
I said, are we ready to? We jumping in. We jumping in. We
What's
jumping
that?
in. So we ready to jump into the topic.
Yeah. Let's jump into the topic. The voice of Venus is in the building. What's going on? She was there in the show. So yeah, let's jump into the topic. Misery loves company. I think was kind of sort of the original premise, and the conversation went in a direction that suggested that women are the misery component and men are the company component. And I don't know that I can agree with that totally, but there were some parallels mined out, and I discovered with a little bit of research that women do, and let me try and find that link again. Women do have a greater propensity to feeling negative emotions than men do. Some of it is hormonal, some of it is other biological imperatives being involved. Some of it's societal, but it did. There, let me see. Here we go. I'm going to share this link. Um, so we can all check it out once again.
You skipping a little bit,
I am skipping.
a little bit, yes.
All right. Let me I might change the wire on this in a minute.
All right. So I was getting some hormonal women. I think it's a point of view as you work through what you're working through. You have, ooh, you got to be leaning. You got to read that for me. You know what? My screen too small for that, brother. You got me all the way in there.
So it says um, From the time a girl reaches puberty until about the age of 50, she is twice as likely to have an anxiety disorder as a man. Anxiety disorders also occur earlier in women than in men. Women are also more likely to have multiple psychiatric disorders during their lifetime than men. The most common to co occur with anxiety is depression. Differences in brain chemistry may account for at least part of these differences. The brain system involved in the fight or flight response is activated more readily in women and stays activated longer than men, partly as a result of the action of estrogen and progesterone. The neurotransmitter serotonin may also play a role in responsiveness to stress and anxiety. Some evidence suggests that the female brain does not process serotonin as quickly as the male brain. Recent research has found that women are more sensitive to low levels of corti- listen, CRF, corticotropin releasing factor, whatever that is, a hormone that organizes stress responses in mammals, making them twice as vulnerable as men to stress related disorders. This is an article written by the Anxiety and Depression Association of America.org. That is ADAA.org. You can check out the article there. So I had um, well, I'm trying to listen to you, and yeah, I'm trying to hear what you're saying. Yeah. So at any rate, when I read that, I began to think: does that have the potential to present as being perpetually miserable?
Okay. First thing that popped in my head was view of perspective. We talk about this all the time. Hey Joel, we talk about this all the time about that, red side of the ball, blue side of the ball, right? So women are going to view life differently than men do, being from the view of perspective, right? That was one.
Hmm.
Two, when you just read this article right now, my brain automatically shifted and say, isn't that why men and women are supposed to work together? And it took me right back to the caveman shit we be talking about all the time, right? Where if there a man and a woman in the cave, right, and he goes out and gets food and brings her back food, right? She eats. She goes and tells him, "How about tomorrow we don't eat food?" What's he gonna do? He's gonna get up and go look for food to comfort her again, right? Like it becomes the genetic makeup of why we are working together. The woman is supposed to help motivate the man, and then the man goes and does what he has to go do, come back. I don't think it's a thing of misery. I think it's a thing of worry. Well, now and complacent is different than worry.
So, all right, when you say complacent, um, oh, here we go. TJ, what's going on, my man?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Chill out. How you doing?
How are you? Very well. How are you?
Good. I just thought I would come up for a quick second and show you some support. Glad you're back live.
Yeah, shout out to you for being our first Cash App ever. Appreciate the support, my man.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah.
Well, we don't pay each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I did send you the cat. Was that yesterday? The day before yesterday? I can't remember.
Some shit like that, but yeah, man, appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
Yep. So, so what you got for us, man?
No, I got to see part of the show this morning, or in and out. A Hamp show. And those kind of conversations are a little frustrating for me. I think I've said that before. To sit there and go through some of those conversations. But the best part of it was when 15 minutes she spent kind of breaking down the pathology of a woman's mind. I thought that was excellent. That was an excellent education right there.
Who was that? Love C, you said?
Crimson Cure.
Oh she smacked it out of the park. Yeah.
Yeah. She came up and did some justice right there on that conversation. But that's what was my biggest takeaway was from that. But the misery question, I think we always attribute that to the women, from the man's side of things, because we're always getting, we're always getting, we get to hear their gripes, and we've heard it over a course of a lifetime. I think that's one of the major reasons why we think that the ladies are always so miserable, because there's a degree of shame when men just constantly gripe. Even when they're just having a spirited debate like we do sometimes on YouTube, that gets, some people will turn that into griping and try to shame the man for even having a healthy discourse at times. So
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying, and one thing I often kind of believe is that women have a much greater freedom of expression when it comes to their emotions, specifically the negative ones. Men, not so much. Whenever men issue a concern or offer up, a gripe, it's addressed with a yeah, but, or it's explained away, or fault starts. We start seeking fault, and it usually ends up being on the man to some degree. Or there's always some level of questioning. Whereas when women, issue a complaint, the kind of the automatic thinking is hear her out and then be ready to do what's necessary to mitigate
yeah,
the effect of or the complaint that she has.
yeah. What
They're
I like,
definitely addressed much differently.
yeah, it's an instant validation of their complaint, whether it's legit or not, and there's an expectation that something's going to be done about it. And when men has a gripe, there's an instant
Right.
reaction to figure out what he did to cause his own pain.
Right.
You know,
Right. If it's even valid to begin with.
yeah, right. Absolutely, absolutely. And you kind of saw that sometime a little bit play out. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch. I don't have the luxury of being able to watch whole streams all the time. So, but I was in and out most of the day. But you saw some of that playing out throughout the stream today on Hab's channel.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot in conversations on a lot of these streams. Or maybe the question will be asked, what can men do differently or do better? And then we have that conversation, and then it kind of ends, right? And even if it gets contentious, but then when the question becomes, well, what can women do differently or do better? You start to have the conversation, but then there's caveats being placed, or conditions, or well, you would get this if this were the case, or the yeah, but, or that's a two-way street. You know what I mean? It was good for the goose is good for the gander. And all these other kinds of things that really aren't present when we're breaking down the needs, wants, and desires of women. You know what I mean? It happens in these conversations a lot, you know, or where women have standards, but then when men have standards, it's well, why all that? What do you mean? This is these are standards. These are our preferences. Why can't we just go, okay, Roger, that if that's what I want to do, I'm going to have to live up to that, rather than question the validity of it, the purpose of it, and are we, going to be consistent enough to even deserve it and all that? Like, we don't. It's not this way on the other way around. Your wants, desires, and standards and needs are to be accepted at face value.
Yes.
I think throughout time, and women have become more vocal. And I feel men need to work better on communicating better, even if it is through gripe. I think you can move the world. It depends on how you deliver what you're trying to say. It could be a legitimate problem. I think those are the ones could be you can use as gripes. But if they're like personal issues, well, then as men, we're always going to have to figure that out because that's a part of our genetic role is to lead and figure that out. And we have to lead and figure out ourselves first before we can do anything else. And then as we're talking about women, women I feel sometimes be more complacent throughout life because they don't um, sometimes have a grasp on the picture of some things of a hard work is to get things done, and then that becomes like undervalued.
And don't forget that they often get rescued from consequences. They don't have to
Yeah,
get they don't have to get, excuse the pun, but they don't have to get smacked in the face with a brick. Men do.
yeah, I agree.
So a
I've
lot
never
of that
got off
is,
of a ticket if I was driving right. I
yeah.
get pulled over. That ticket is not getting forgiven. I'm gonna have to pay that ticket.
I mean, look at Kamala Harris and and her absolute reckless spending of $1 billion campaign. Who goes into debt with $1 billion? But she does. And is she having to suffer any consequence for that? No, no. The people are coming in to bail her out. We tend to forget that under um, when Barack Obama defeated Hillary in their prime, his initial run, his first term run, Barack Obama, when he won the Democratic nomination, the first speech he gave was about helping retire Hillary Clinton's debt. But you notice none of the men talk about having to retire their debt for their, having needed help. You don't even hear the male campaigns being in debt. So the ladies are always being rescued from the consequences of the behaviors. One other thing I wanted to point out too is, you said something just a second ago about that men need to have more conversations. Men's conversations have now moved public, and the problem with that is, and I don't want to pick on Hamp so much, but when men's conversations move public, we have to be mindful how those conversations are being perceived. And especially when those conversations devolve, like it did the other day when like Angry Man was up on the channel. I'm not picking on him, but he's the big name on in that situation, and
Right.
how that whole entire discord went left, and then you're up there, regardless of we think it's fair or not. It is a double standard. If we're out here constantly now dealing with and addressing women's bad behaviors, unfortunately, we don't have the luxury to then have bad behavior. It ain't fair. Well, I know we're human, we're going to make mistakes, but we don't have the luxury to let it devolve into calling each other bitch niggas and pussies and stuff like that, because it negates any gains that you think that you've made in the eyes of the ladies. Go, see, I'm going to follow that. And then I get stuck with that reputation. Why would I follow that? Because I get stuck with that I'm like them dudes too. That's how I will behave. You know what I mean? So while I believe the conversation need to happen, I think because it's so public now, I think we all need to be more mindful about how we're displaying that even in discourse, and that it doesn't devolve to the point where it undermines the message.
We need to police ourselves on how we're trying to operate
Yeah.
personally, right? Yeah, I agree. Definitely need to, because I feel like me and Aaron talk about this all the time. We created this platform to really try to teach one another, right? And not try to maneuver in those paths. Because if we're not teaching one another, and we come on this platform and talk to individuals, and individuals are talking to us, we're trying to grow and learn, right? We're trying to play as male, play that perspective role. You might see something different, and we could be standing right next to each other. And maybe if we talk that out, we could find a path that'll help us both grow better as men, as a collective. Because it's we're being attacked across the country as men, as a collective. So we need to come together as a group of men and women. And me and Aaron were speaking about this, is about how we operate around one another. I really appreciate all the females that come up on this show, because they treat us and we treat them with the utmost respect. We don't operate in a way where we're going to allow each other to disrespect. But I think that Aaron and I, and the War Report all together, lay down that kind of platform and rug where we're going to come and communicate and be open with one another and treat each other with a sense of dignity and respect, because that's how we feel we're going to grow in this space and as a community of people who are trying to better one another, because we all see our own struggles throughout life. We just got to communicate that better, and don't allow sometimes, where me and Aaron speak a lot about the emotions of people, and it becomes your default defense mechanism. We got to work past that and really stay to the root of what we're trying to do here, and that's help each other see in a better light and grow together as a bigger community. And that excuse me, is what we fight for, I think. And I think that goes with past the misery thing, but just all together as a collective.
No, 100%. It makes sense. And that's kind of what, our position as men, as leaders, it's kind of our job to cultivate that, right? And like you said, that's why we have the War Report, and that's why we get the presence of guys like TJ up here. And, when I add to the stage, Ruthless Truth here. What's going on, man? You know what I mean? Like, so we definitely want to lead by example, and really promote and cultivate decorum, especially when it comes to emotional expression. But I just think in the world, it's funny that you had said you said something a moment ago that made me think about what came up about how men, we kind of, if it's a problem that's internal that we're dealing with, we'll just hold on to it until we work it out and can recover, right? Whereas women are still encouraged and enjoy the freedom of expression. They still enjoy the freedom to be able to vent and get it out, which is fine. But on the panel earlier, the women were kind of saying, well, it still takes a toll on them to know that we're working through something. It changes the vibe in the room, right? Like when we get quiet, we get reclusive, and we're trying to work out our own difficulties. And my position was like, well, I mean, while I appreciate that, what I mean, and I appreciate your concern and wanting to be involved, the fact of the matter is, you can't help me the way you want to help me if it doesn't help me. I have to help you in a way that helps you. So if that means I have to sit down and let you verbally vomit on me, that's what I have to endure. But for you to help me, if it requires leaving me the fuck alone and providing me with a peaceful, quiet space where I can get my shit together, even if you're in your own head going crazy, that's what you have to endure in order to see to it that I'm being made whole again. It's not my fault that you're wondering in your head what the hell's bothering me and all that. That's your cross to bear. I'm not obligated to verbally vomit on you if that's not what's going to work. And if that's what does work, then you got to be there for that. But just like men have their obligations to do whatever's necessary to help you out, you got to return the same favor. And they may not look the same, and they don't have to, because your requirements are your requirements, and my requirements are my requirements. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You can require what you want to require and expect me to acquiesce to that, but I can't have the same expectation. My requirements are somehow incorrect because they don't fit the style of assistance that you want to provide, or that makes you feel better about you know what I mean? Or it alleviates you of some kind of stress that you may feel in having to assist me. When did it become about you? I'm the one that's fucked up right now, right? So you got to help me. Just like I got to help you. I don't want to sit here and have you verbally vomit on me, but it is what it is. That's what it takes to make you whole. So I think we got to get better at providing that for one another, but specifically more so for men. How we just, we got to demand that this is what it takes to help us. and this is what we're willing to give in return. Ruthless Truth, what's going on, brother?
How y'all's the panel doing?
Doing well.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Y'all hear me clear?
yeah, we good.
Yeah, loud and clear.
So I was hearing y'all sentiments, man. I thought I'd pull up. I have a little different take. Not saying that I'm disagreeing with you guys though, but I just think the problem with men is we're just being too damn nice. Right? We're coddling these women. We're acquiescent. Oh, as long as your happiness is my happiness and my miserability is to make you happy, right? And we're giving so much, right? Because come on, let's be honest. Men have invested billions of dollars in these women, right? Billions of songs, lyrics, right? Women have literally have the rose petal laid at their feet, especially from the 80s, right? Well, they have the rose petals laid at their feet. They know what to do. They know what we want. We keep going and tell them, oh, well, we want y'all. This is what they know what we want because they don't give a fuck. They just don't care, right? Because we're so nice. And I had to learn this in time in my life, right? That people take kindness for weakness, right? People, I know Aaron probably has experience in the field dealing with soldiers, dealing with different subordinates, that you have to present a bit of conflict personality at the same time, be respectful, right? But you got to let the soldiers or who you're dealing with know that if you disrespect me, there's a consequence for that, right? Without saying it, right? You got to do it without saying it. We have let our guards down to these women, and we're not giving them that no more, right? We're become emotionally intelligent. We're so vulnerable, right? We're putting rose petal. We're buying rose. Valentine. Who's Valentine's Day about? Who's Valentine's Day about? Right? And that's just really 365 days a year. That's just a day just highlighted. But we know how we is. We like that 365 days a year. And yet they are not happy, nor are they satisfied with all what they're reaping the benefits of us, resources-wise, time-wise, and spiritual-wise. We invested a heavy amount of money into these women. Probably the average woman's probably paid, what, in her 5-year lifetime, maybe 2 dates? Right? She's got everything free. Even if she don't even like the guy, even if it doesn't work out, she's still coming with all her money in her pocket, right? She still comes out, okay, I still got my life, and he's in deficit. Yeah, he ain't tripping, but he's in deficit. That money's not coming back. So once again, right? And I watched the panel today with Aaron, you guys on there, and I was just looking right at the women up there. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't care. It's either going to be about them or they're going to leave you. And they act like, and they stand on that if you do not acquiesce to us, we will walk away. But we're opposite, right? They can walk all over us and we're still standing there and fight. So to tell men to figure out that, hey, we have to start treating them as a little bit more. I ain't going to say we have to be I think got to have more standards, and we got to push the line a little bit more and cut back on all this nice shit, right? And be a little bit more sound, right? We need to be sound and fluent in our demands and what we expect from them, and not give them fucking everything they want. Because the more we give, the more they take. And the more they take, the more they hate. Come on.
Brought up on the stream today, Aaron. I think somebody brought that up.
Yeah, I had put an article. You mean about it was from the AADA or something?
Yeah,
about how hormones and how they're more likely to suffer from depression and anxiety, and they feel more negative feelings kind of overall than men do.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, we're just too nice.
That's
I just think we're too nice. That's my opinion.
Well, so I'm not pushing back on you, but you had said something about Valentine's Day. I just want to edify the men. I'm lucky enough to have a wife that. So there's a day, March 14th. It's a holiday called Steak and BJ Day. It's the Valentine's Day for men. It's exactly 1 month after Valentine's Day. And the tradition goes, she's got to somehow provide you, whether she takes you out to a restaurant to get it, or she cooks it, or whatever you want to cook it. She get whatever, but your ass gets a steak of your choice, be it ribeye, New York strip, filet mignon, Denver flank. Don't you get a steak, and and she gets sausage.
Your needs.
Hey, guess
Yeah,
what, Aaron? But guess what,
it's
Aaron?
March 14th.
Guess what, Aaron? I'm 52 years old, and that's the first time I ever heard about
What's
that.
that?
That's the first time I ever heard about
I
that.
know that's what's fucked up. I know. Look, I hear you, but and you can see and but look at the women. Oh shit, you got to see this ruthless, harmonize. That's a fair trade. You see, they're down. My wife, the 14th of March. You know what I mean? It make it known to the women in your life. I promote it. March 14th, Steak and BJ Day. We need to put it on the federal calendar.
America, listen, America doesn't even invest in that.
And that's real, promote
Yeah,
it.
America doesn't even invest in that. They're like, you know what? These
I
women,
know.
we know.
Yeah, you're right.
If they wasn't just say, right, they start promoting that day for men. They know that they're not going to make any money with the women, right? They just keep it like it is because they know the man we're going to overspend, which is, we're not really complaining about it, but they know, America knows this is our big money day. The men are going to come and overspend to make their women happy. We know that the women are not going to do the same if we was to promote another day for the men. See, the economy tells you the women are
Cattle
the
companies. Cattle companies should get on board with this.
Man, the women,
Beef companies, they should get on board with this. But you're right. It's like the Father's Day versus Mother's Day. You're right. Kasim in the building. What's good, man? Feel free to join us. Hit the panel. But yeah, no, you're right, man.
Let me think. Ain't March Women's History Month?
It probably is.
Oh shit, is it?
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm looking that up. Yeah, it's fucking March.
Yeah, there's no way that's happening.
Yes.
It's under prohibition, like anything else that they can't find a way, like Ruthless Truth just said, to monopolize and make a lot of money off of.
Yeah, March.
If they can't make money.
God,
they can't make money, it won't move. And now you trying to do it on when? Women's History Month? Man. That ain't flying. That ain't flying.
Man.
She's not in this household, luckily.
But that's how it works.
Like I say, man, I'm
we talking on a big scale on the
lucky and blessed.
Yeah, it was established in 1995.
I mean, there are some outliers, man. There are some outliers, but you're like 0.1% of the population that gets that day. Yeah.
Oh, don't I know it? Look, that's why I say it every time. I don't take it for granted. Look, I'm not deluded, bro. I don't take it for granted not one time. I am definitely in that 0.1%, that outlier group that people talk about. And I'm fortunate, but that's why I'm trying to pay it forward, try and get the rest of the community on board, make people aware, men and women, that this is what you have to do. This is what's required of you,
See, here's the thing, Aaron. Here's the problem, right? Us men are so divided on how women should be held accountable for their behaviors, right? We're so divided that you got certain men.
Exactly.
Is it certain men who feels like, well, men are the leaders. Some men feel like she can do no wrong. So we're so divided amongst ourselves as, right? We don't operate. So therefore, the women really don't have to do anything, because if we was to just say, hey, let's do a day for women to celebrate the men would feel like, Man, that's cowardly. We don't need them. You don't treat us like women, right? The women go turn around and say, "Oh, y'all want to be treated like we treated," right? And then the man gonna say, "No." So we have been broken. The feminine aspect have broken men's heart, broken all our little gift we used to have, right? Come home and just put our feet down. Now it's okay, baby. Happy wife, happy life, or yeah, we want to whatever your way. And they're still leaving. The women are still leaving even after getting all that. So we as men, I guess we're delusional. A lot of men are delusional. Not saying all, but most are delusional to the fact that women are savage. Simple as that. And as now we have more information, now that we're learning more because of the YouTube spaces, right? We're seeing clearly that the women don't give a fuck about majority of the men that they deal with.
That's true.
Yeah. I think one remedy to that is we need to be able to communicate better. And what I'm saying is, as men, like, we need to be able to communicate our desires, our needs, our expectations, our standards, and we need to be able to communicate the why. And when they communicate, their expectations of us, we still have to understand the why. Like, I think the part that's missing is communication, where we're being left to do whatever it is we think we can try to do. They're being left to do whatever they want to do. But without the why, there's no real accountability and there's no real. You can't hold someone to a standard unless you've confirmed that they know why it is they're doing what they're doing.
So here's the thing, Aaron. Here's the thing, right? I hear your sentiments, but men have communicated. We've communicated very well. We're spending all the thousands and thousands of dollars on courting dinner date sessions. You don't think we're expressing ourselves? You don't think we're telling what we desire from them? That's a lot of money just to be sitting here. Well, maybe she'll get it, right? No, we're telling them.
No, we have. I think we're divided on the why, and I think we're not even really communicating why.
No. What it
is why you need to do this for me.
This is the thing, Aaron. This is the thing, right? The why doesn't matter, right? Because it's very simple. The women are benefited such greatly from just a basic date, right? The benefits are so great for her because she barely has to bring anything to the table but her whatever she has in her body, right? So the why is, do you love this man or not? Do you want to build with this man or not? This man definitely wants to build with you, right? As he's investing all these resources and time and emotional support, right? So the why isn't the problem, right? The problem is the lack of return on investment, right? The women don't want to give you back. And you guys spoke on it today, Aaron, that women at time they trick you, they play, oh yeah, I'm with you, daddy. Oh yeah, you daddy. I'm being doing all this. You finally put that ring on the finger, you hit her to her, and then as time goes, she's different. Now she's not doing those things she used to do. Now she's becoming more selfish, right? And more about her. She's making everything being about her, right? She doesn't even really care to hear your or try to figure out how to make you, stable, man. And this is the complaint. And this is too many men are saying this. It's not just a small 1%. We're talking about 90% of men are saying this, whether poor or rich, whether intelligent or unintelligent. At all levels, right, these women are acting in a manner of destruction, that they're willing to destroy the family to have their way. And what they do is, Aaron, this is what we gotta look at. When we were young, Aaron, you remember how our parents told us treat your sister, right? You don't teach your sister like that and be chivalry, all that right there, right? Women took that and learned to leverage that. That's what they're doing. They're leveraging what we're bred to do against us. Because now, if I act a certain way outside of the structure of society, which we've been structured to treat women, other men are going to come and shame me.
Yeah, I hear you, but and here's where the why actually does matter. Like you said, before the ring, women, they do all these things to get you trapped. That's because they understood the why. They move like that because the why is to get the ring. Once they've gotten the ring, the why goes away. And I think we have to bring the why back. Let me give you an example. When we say things like, all right, when we meet a woman, you're out, she's, dressed in a provocative way, and you guys get into um a relationship and all that sort of thing, and you you place a mandate that says, well, I don't want you dressing in a certain manner when you go out, and that kind of thing. And the first thing they're going to do, well, why do I have to make changes now? And what do they say? Oh, you're insecure or whatever the case is. No, you have to understand why. I don't want you bringing unwanted attention. It's not about my insecurity. It's about me understanding the potential for men to be disrespectful, and I don't want to expose you to that. It's not about me being insecure. It's about me protecting you. When we go into a restaurant, you need to sit where I tell you to sit, and you need to make it muscle memory. You need to already know where I'm going to want to sit because I need to look at the door. I need to see who's ingressing and egressing this establishment. I need to be able to study the crowd. They don't understand the why. They just see these mandates as being um, methods that men use to control them when they're in a relationship, when they actually have purpose and reason that will serve to benefit them. We're not communicating the why. When we require submission, we're we're not even past what submission is, let alone why. No one asks the question, why does a woman need to submit to a man?
So,
Because that's how I can affect my job. I can't, if I'm supposed to protect you and you're not listening to me tell you where the fuck to walk and you place a foot wrong, you step on a landmine, I failed my job at protecting you because you didn't listen. That's the why.
so Aaron, to your point, right? They know that though, right? So once you go to her and say, "Hey,
You
baby,"
can't assume that.
once you go and say to her, right, and you express yourself, "Baby, I do not want you to wear this dress because I don't like it," of the situation. And once she questions that, you lose, right? Because she already knows you have her best intentions, right? She already knows you have her back. You've already built the trust margin. You've already built the understanding that you're the man of her life and that you're gonna do what it takes for y'all to succeed. So if you come to her and say, "Look, baby, I don't like you to do it this way. I don't want you to dress this way," it should never be a question of why. It's okay. My man, I know my man knows what he's doing. She knows he's the protector. She knows you're the provider. She knows all that. So whenever you speak of authority in a manner of to put the house to keep everything stabilized, she supposed to get in line automatically. Okay, boom. I got 15 other dresses. How you like this one? This one better? All right, let's get to it. So once again, right, all that extra explaining is where the men are losing, right? Because we're over explaining and over
Right.
negotiating women who do not want to negotiate back. They're saying, Aaron, and I'm gonna land it. Fuck what you guys want. That's what they're saying. If you want another man, will I go get me a simp and I'm gonna run him. I'm gonna run him to the dirt until I'm tired of him, and I'm gonna give him another simp. Now, so what you gonna do, Alpha? This is what's happening. They're leveraging men against men to get their way.
I was
Well,
thinking.
see, here's the thing.
Hold on, let me
Go ahead,
jump
chill
in.
out.
I was thinking, are women trying to get the ultimate get back from men pimping for so long? Do they understand now the power of the P and they're trying to do it that way? Like the ultimate get back. Because now
Yeah,
they understand the game now. They've been schooled and schooling one another how to play them cards that way now. And men
yeah,
been pimping for so long. So now it's like the ultimate get back. Like, why I need this pimp when I can pimp my own P?
yeah, yeah. You might be right.
I don't know that we've been pimping though.
Pimping been pimping since pimping. Like, come on, not all men. We're going, all right, not majority of men, but come on now. Like, if minority of men are playing the game, right? How many women are they running through and coming across? And women are getting their heart broken and messing up, and it goes back and forth. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers. Relationships and love is a crazy game, right? But when you start getting hurt, in life, right, as a reaction, you won't do that again because you don't want to get hurt again doing that same thing. This became a psychological, emotional game that's been playing along since pimping. And now women are understanding how this game is working. And they putting other girls onto the same game. Like, I can maneuver how I want to maneuver, like Ruthless said. Because I understand now how this game works, like the ultimate get back. Like, I don't need you because I got it. It's the power of me. And the why is really about
But
because I can.
Kasim says if you explain the why, she can get her emotions invested, which makes her more willing to cooperate. Right. So that's kind of the point that I was making is that now you have an understanding. One thing I know women like to do without knowing the why, they will insert their own why.
Or
And
five
you know
of
what
them.
they'll replace a why with? A why not. They'll go the first thing they'll go is justify why they shouldn't be required to do this. And that's kind of what puts you in a hole fighting against why nots. When if you go in there understanding the why, and you can't assume that these women know the why, because if they know the why, then they would be invested. They would understand that the why benefits them pretty much ad infinitum. The why very rarely benefits the man.
So once again, right? Once again, Aaron, we have to look at it in a glass half full, right? All this dating, courting, all this resources been expended so that we can have a platform for each other. All the communication back and forth. You courting me, I'm courting you. You're looking at me as am I the best man for you to lead this, you know, life in itself. And then I'm looking at you, are you a woman who's able to jump on my program and be beneficial, add value, right? So we have all these things we're doing, all this dancing, right? This is what we're doing. So when we get to the point of, we're going to a dinner date and, she wants to dress like Megan Thee Stallion or Sexy Red, right? She's already knowing that she's going to get a reaction out of me, number one, because all this time she has to have some sort of observation about how I like her to dress and how I like her to carry herself. I'm definitely showing that she's my type at this point. So therefore, she comes like something like that, something way out, a dress that's showing her butt out, whatever, right? And then I speak and I say, I just don't like you to do that. The moment, the why not, meaning she already knew the why, she doesn't give a fuck because she wants to say, I have rights, I'm equal, or if not more. And if you don't accept me for who I am, I will find somebody else who will. So therefore, women understand that men don't like them to dress a certain type of way. They know. I mean, come on, Aaron. This is even not talking little kids. They understand. Women are very intelligent. They got degrees now, right? They understand how to go to work and dress, right? If she's a lawyer, she's not coming in no tight jeans and butt shorts, right? She knows how to dress appropriate to work. She knows how to dress appropriate for that dollar. Why can't she dress appropriate for her man? Which one does she value more? That's the question, right? If I have to say something to that degree, is an indictment on her dedication to the commitment for us to be a better two as a couple.
And here's where they're going to come right back at that with. You did not when you found me, I was dressed in a provocative manner. That's what turned you on. Not when you got a job. When you got a job, you were interviewed in a suit. When a woman was found, she was not found in a suit. Unless you make it a point to only go seek women that dress in modest ways. If that's the case, then you can find a woman that doesn't know anything about dressing provocatively. But if when you found her, she was slightly sexy, then that's what got you. And they're going to lean on that. They're going to lean on the fact that this is what got you. So why do I have to change now? A job, you never, ever, that's not going to get the job. You go in there slightly sexy, they're not going to hire you. So that's where they make the distinction. But at the end of the day, we can't assume that they know, because what that does is it puts the potential for miscommunication squarely in your lap. If you make it known out the gate the first time, for sure, unequivocally, just in case you weren't made aware, this is what I don't want, this is what I expect, here's why. From that point forward, the accountability is placed squarely on her lap forever without any questions. And if she does have a question, I told you, and you know it, and you can't escape it ever.
So
Brother Hank, what's going on? Go ahead, Rufus.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
What's up, Hank? So this, and I'm gonna say this last part, and I'm gonna pass it to Hank, right? Once again, right? If I'm gonna meet a woman that's dressed and provocative, I'm no way gonna try to. Obviously, this is what I like. But if I meet, most likely, I'm going to be attracted to her. I know how I want my woman to look. I know how, if I'm seeing her, if she's dressing way too much, I'm not even going to go. Now, I might smash in the situation, but I'm not going to court her, invest all my resources with her. So I'm going for the one that I know is, more conservative and reserved. And I'm saying if anything comes of shock value, where she makes a sudden, disparity and change that kind of, whoa, babe, what's up with that? That means, that there's something off here. But yeah, I hear you, Aaron. If I'm going to marry a hoe, I'm not going to be mad because she's a hoe. I'm just going to have to deal with that. And that comes with that. But the vice versa goes with the woman. If you're going to take a man's resources and know that he's, controlling, or he's very judgmental, or whatever it is, you got to be able to deal with that too. So it's a give and take situation, right? We all are invested in each other when we're doing all these things. And it's all about the journey, not the moment. And long as women can understand that they're signing up for this journey and know what comes with this journey, this is why they go over the wedding vows. This is why you go to premarital counseling, so you can understand what you're getting yourself into. Are you ready? So I hear you, and I'm not in disagreement with you. If my woman is dressing like what she's dressing like, and I never said nothing to her for 5 years, there's no way I'm going to say anything to her. It's just no way.
That's it. Big brother Hank. What was that?
Now we pass it to you. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah, Hank, what's up, man? You in the building?
Yeah, I'm here. How y'all fellas doing?
Appreciate you. Doing good. Appreciate you blessing the space, man. What's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I assume this is an extension of the show earlier, right? With what Hank was doing. Pretty much it seemed like it's the same topic, I believe.
Yes, sir. But
Yes, sir.
It is. But if you want to pivot, you're my man.
No. I mean, I could roll with what we rolling with. I ain't gonna flip the script. I'm not gonna do that. I know how to follow directions.
My guy.
But it was kind of interesting. I was hearing a lot of things being said up there on the show, and then what we're talking about now, I guess. It's kind of funny. I don't have a problem with explaining to a why. But once I say the why, then hopefully that resolve any more questions. You know what I'm saying? If I got to continue to ask questions, now I'm not talking to a grown woman. I feel like I'm talking to a little girl now.
Little girl, right.
Because that's how, if I got to say why? Because I expect my daughter to do that or my son to do that. I don't expect my wife to be doing that. Now, we talking about a wife, not your girlfriend, but your wife, right? I don't expect to have to continue to explain why. No. If that's the case, then that's a deeper problem that you need to address, other than whatever she's wearing that you consider inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? And I think somebody said it before. If you met her like that, you know, it's kind of hard to try to get that up out of her. Now, maybe she's that type, depending on her mindset. You know, only you will know, right? Only you will know if you could persuade her or negotiate with her or encourage her to make that decision to make that change. But if she has that stubborn type mindset, you should make her your wife. If she's not willing to give a little, yeah, you made a bad decision. You made a decision that you're gonna deal with a lot of headaches and heartaches. And I don't think 90% of us men don't want to deal with. Now, are there a few men out there that they like that pushback type woman, that woman who has a little bite to them? Yeah, they out there. I don't know what's wrong with them dudes that they want to deal with a woman like that, but they out there. So I'm telling fellas, good luck with that. Because you'll be on this internet in about 3 or 4 months complaining about that same woman who you decided to bless with your last name. Yeah, you made a bad decision. And now you got to live with it.
Being a child.
So,
Wow, now. Yeah,
yes, sir.
I can
Yes,
dig it. Yeah, man. What you
I
got?
don't know, man. Mr. Chill Out. How you doing, Mr. Chill Out?
How are you? I'm good.
Right on.
Nice meeting you, man. I was letting y'all go ahead and think, because as I going through these like mind scenarios, and I go like, they just being persuasive with the why, and then misusing the why for their own benefit, right? Like they pimping the why, and it becomes situational. Like I think Hamp says it a lot. It's like the girl who really like you act different than when she with the dude that she really don't like, and that goes into these wide descriptive things, right? Like they just, and I think that's what really the problem is I get men are communicating, and I think Ruthless was right. Like we being soft sometimes. Like we got to let our no be no and our yes be yes, and stand on what we stand on, and let it be how she dress or talk or act. And I agree, if you met her that way, then that's what you like, because that's what you was looking for and chasing anyway. And if she can or really like you, also she will be persuaded, like Hink said, to kind of not dress that way, because she gonna act different if she really like you. If she don't really like you, she gonna go ahead and manipulate the why to her best benefit.
I gotta ask, Hank. I'm watching you. I want to know what your setup is like. You got one of them Minority Report setups, don't you? Your shit look like this, don't it? Hold up, get out of here. What is this? You get the fuck out of here. All right, let's pick another one. Your shit look like, I'm watching you like look around the room. You got like that Minority Report set up in front of you. You got your screens. Your shit gotta look like this type of shit. You like looking around, like looking up. What are you? What kind of what setup you got over there, man? You got some shit. Let's see, looking around.
Yeah,
You muted though.
you on mute. You on mute.
You still
bad.
muted. Yeah.
I got a 65-inch TV that's above me. That's what I got that, and then my screen is like real big, and I got multi screens up at the same time. But that's about it.
Yeah, yep. Because he's like looking, he's looking up and all, you know. And yeah,
I'm waiting for him to swipe the screen and just start making stuff happen.
That's what I'm waiting for him to start doing this.
And you know something? Hey, it's funny. It is a touchscreen, but I don't ever use it. I play with my mouse. I don't ever use it. It's touchscreen.
Yeah.
You know, and all that. I do all that, but I don't ever use a touchscreen. Yeah. I mean, sometimes just to remind myself that I do have a touchscreen, but I just don't use it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That would have been crazy.
That's crazy. You and I have something in common, man. Because I got same way, man. You know, my stereo equipment and TV game is, like, you should see my living room, man. I'm not even gonna get into it, but But where I work at here is different. I'm not in front of all my, you know. But we did that when we commentated the fight the last time. We had screens out in front of us and behind us, and shit was everywhere. But that's because it was three of us, and we had to manage the cameras and look at the fight and all this other shit. But when you're doing this, I'm looking at you. I'm like, you must got a hell of a setup. But yeah, I got you. You got you in your man cave. You in front of your good shit.
That's it.
But,
That's
yeah,
it.
man. Yeah. I think like men. I mean, I agree with everybody. I think we're all in agreement. There may be some nuances and details that and I think they just boil down to the way we do business individually. But I think overall, I think we kind of agree that there has to be a getting on board, and I think it just is going to require men to stand on their square a lot more firmly. But as far as the misery piece, I don't know that I want to agree with the fact that women are misery and men are the company. Although I do think women are more susceptible to negative emotions. And I think it's going to require our steadfastness to give them the comfort needed to escape those negative emotions. In the Bible, what is it? The sheep are comforted by the staff or by the rod or something like that. Like, I'm not here to hurt you, I'm here to protect you. And when I'm standing firm on my square, there is a level of comfort that one can live with when you're up underneath something so steadfast, right? And I think men have lost that a little bit. And it's like, if you can run over me, then you're going to walk around with the thought that anybody in the world can run over me. So I can't let you run over me. I have to establish firmly, but gently, have to establish standards and principles so that you can see that I have your best interests at heart, but I'm also no one to be fucked with. And that way women can understand, all right, I am taken care of. He has my best interests at heart. And if shit does go left, it's a problem for the other guy. But the moment women run over us in these conversations, that's kind of it.
So you also have to levy the system that we're in, the construct that we're in, right? They do have say so as well, right? The women do understand that they're looked upon in such a way as defenseless, harmless creatures. So they know
No,
that.
they're not.
No, the women think that, right? And they know that, right? And they will leverage that to get their way if they have to. So this is why the equality thing is a big issue, right? Because women are challenging man for the throne because they know that they have backup. They got something that will favor them, whether they're good, wrong, or right. Right? We ain't gonna talk about the divorce courts and all those things, right? But we do understand that, and to be exemplified is Flora and JP, right? They were having a discord, and Flora called the police and gave a false statement, right? Just because she just wanted to win, right? She just made a false statement. Then luckily JP taped it. The cops were going to take him in, but he showed them that he taped it live, and they said, okay, you just go walk down the street and say, calm down, cool down. But she was willing to go that far to win against him. And a lot of women are doing this. They're taking advantage of the system which protects them. And this is a problem. This is problematic when you're talking about exuding the authority that we need to run our house properly. And I'll say you're lucky to have a woman that is submissive like that. There are some outliers. I'm not saying that these women don't exist, right? But as time goes on, they're becoming more scarce and scarce and scarce. A lot of these women.
Well,
Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, so you know what you do with a woman that does that?
Well, you have to get rid of her. But I'm not disputing that. But here's the problem. The next one over, it just keeps right. So and once again, Aaron, for me, I'm not really tripping on it. I'm not really a woman don't define me and marry them from. So I'm not really tripping. I'm just speaking for the young men, right, who are coming up, who are trying to get their feet set in stone, right? When they get that good job or that promotion and they want to build their legacy, these things, right? This is what they're left to deal with. My son, right? And I understand that this is what's out here and this is what's coming to an end. The masculine, you know, I am in charge, that is going out of style, right? These women are wanting equality or even at times more.
Well, I think my wife made a profound statement, and I think this is also kind of a request for forgiveness. She says, in our defense, we only have one good week a month. And she's right, because 1 week is occupied by bleeding. And the week before that is occupied by all the pains and stresses associated with the bleeding that's to come. Right. So it is only 4 weeks in a month. So you only have 1, maybe 2 weeks, half the week, half the month, maybe on a good day, is spent in a sane state of mind. But other than that, it's either the big show or preparation for the big show. And they got to live with that shit. You know what I mean? But I think that's why men need to be aware of shit like that so that they don't. Because you're right. We rest on our laurels and we allow things to happen. I think men really need to be aware of stuff like that so that we can say, all right, you know what? Half the time, she's probably not going to be in her right mind. And there's no way she's going to tell me that, especially when she's in that condition, because as far as she's concerned, she's in her right mind. But nothing seems to be making sense. And it's all the world's fault. That's how she's going to operate. So we got to come and compensate for that. You know what I mean? And not by being yielding, but by requiring the world around us to yield to us. And then they can live within that, protection. But they will absolutely try to fuck it up. You're right. See, what I am the captain now, right? That's kind of where we got to go with it. That's exactly where we got to go. We got to go, I am the captain now. Because you're right. They will try to fuck it up. And if you don't go with that I am the captain now mentality, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to take it and go funny places with it. Nope. You don't drive. You get in the passenger seat. Matter of fact, every car from now on is a stick because you can't drive a stick. I am the captain now. You know what I mean? But that's
passenger princess for life.
That's what men have to do. Right? Well, yeah.
What Rufus? I don't agree with that part about him talking about the women don't know they are dangerous. Yeah, they know this. They do know this. I think men give them a pass and don't think a woman's dangerous.
Yes.
I don't think it's the women that don't think. But you said just the opposite.
No. I said the men are delusional. That's what I said. To think that women are savage like we are, just in a different way. That's all I'm saying. This is now coming out with all the information we got with YouTube. Now we're starting to see. Like, whoa. These women are coming on here talking about delete black kids and shit like that. That's new.
They're not savage. We are, because they are more savage than we are.
Okay, I think
that's more, because our savagery is out there in the open. They're more conniving and sneaky and subtle with it, right? And so like for the example you gave with I don't even know, Aaron always wants us to be bringing up other content creators, and if that's the case, I apologize. I won't do it. But with the situation you brought up, in that situation, what did they do? Okay, I'll do this. Well, fellas, you think, they're not gonna really do it. They just saying that. Even though we've seen individuals do it to other people, she may have did to the last guy. Oh, well, she gonna do it to me because who I am. Because our ego thinks, I'm special. I'm somebody special. She would never. She did you like Rufus, but she ain't gonna treat me like it. She ain't gonna talk to me like that. And that's not far from the truth. That's how conniving and sly and slick and deviant some women are, that they do that shit. Oh yeah, they're gonna get you the same way. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time when it's gonna come your way. That's all it is. That's why I tell guys all the time, when you're vetting and you see how she acts and moves and carry on, please believe you me, that's gonna come in your direction. How are you gonna handle it? What are you gonna do about it? And how are you gonna deal with it? And the last thing is, are you gonna be willing to accept it? Because it's coming. Now, me, I'm gonna address it on point. I'm gonna do it, baby. Why did you act like that with your friend? It wasn't even that serious. Why did you talk to her like that? Why did you treat the waiter like that? I know he messed up the order, but is it that serious that you to the point where you have to stand there ready to fight the man or cuss him out? Yeah, that's totally uncalled for. So you need to address that on site. I don't care if it's not. You can laugh and think it's funny, but please believe you me. You laughing is going to be your misery coming your way. Give all reason. Let your ass not take that trash out when she wanted you to, because it stinks, and she just cooked your ass a 3-course meal, and that chicken's been in her over 3 days. Now, let you forget to do a errand that you're gonna do a chore, and I'm gonna go and cut the grass. Man, I forgot to cut the grass. Next day it rained, so now you got to go maybe a day or 2 before you get that grass cut. So you're supposed to do it on Saturday. Now you're not getting to it till Wednesday. See, that's gonna be a problem. She's gonna look, oh, my yard looking bad. Your neighbor's yard looking well manicured. She feeling some type of way. So let it don't happen the way she want to happen. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get all that smoke. The same smoke you didn't think was gonna come your way. Same smoke you thought it was funny and kiki and laughing while her talking crazy her father or her one of her brothers or her best friend. It's coming your way. It's just a matter of time. Now, how do you deal with it? How do you address it? Do you take care of it and address it on point and let her know, look, I don't care what you did with the last dude. I don't care what you did with your father or your brother or your friend. I'm not that one. So don't bring that bullshit. Because if you don't address it and you just let this slide, you deserve everything you get. Because you ain't dealing with it the proper way.
Word up, man.
JT, my bad.
We got JT in the building from What We Know podcast. What's good, brother?
What's happening, man? What's going on, man? Salute to the panel, man. What's going on, Hank?
Nothing to it, man. Thanks for blessing the space, and you're welcome. Welcome to join us,
Absolutely,
man. What you got for us?
Yeah, well, I
Thank you
got a
for your
couple of.
service, JT, and Aaron, thank you for your service. And Mr.
Oh,
Chill
thank
Out,
you,
I don't
man.
know if you
Yeah,
served.
gentlemen. Yep.
You served.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, thanks to
I'm,
all the veterans that have served. Yep,
Yes,
definitely
sir.
appreciate your
I'm
service.
blessed to know 2 great Marines and many gentlemen that serve that allow us to talk this mess on these panels, and I appreciate them to give us the freedom to be who we are in this country. And I thank you if you serve, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut
same
you off,
here.
JT.
No, it ain't no problem, man. Same here, Aaron, man. Thank you for your service also, brother. Most definitely. I only got a couple of minutes, man. We about to get ready to start the show, but I needed to come up here and holler at you, man. This is my first time being here on your panel, and this is not my last time, brother. I definitely love the conversation that you have, and so you definitely be seeing me a lot more too, bro. Most
You're
definitely.
always welcome, 100%, brother. I appreciate you being here, man.
Absolutely. So, do you have a direction that you was going? Any questions that you were asking
No,
specifically, or?
no, we on Tuesdays we just kind of piggyback from Hamp show, and today was misery loves company and women are miserable, but with the minds that are that flock to this space, if you want to pivot, I always offer the opportunity too, because you guys are really respected in this, so whatever you have to offer is valuable. I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier today, man. It was a lot of different perspectives. It's a little bit different. I guess it gets a lot different, man. Once you start getting into your late 40s and now, like myself, man, I'm 52. So that whole concept of looking at if women are miserable and these type of things, I haven't really experienced that too often right now at the age I am right now, right? still, I'm not in the dating game too much now, but even when I was dating, I was a little more vigilant on who I was picking. So for the most part, the women that I were picking, man, they were actually pretty good women, right? There was not misery or nothing like that was coming from them. Although we also see that they bring certain baggage, whether it's from another relationship, childhood, and things like that. The way I look at relationships, it's basically like a classroom. So if you got a miserable woman that you're with, you got to take action immediately, right? Either you're going to work and deal with that, or you're going to let that go. If you can't afford to be in that type of a space, it's time to move forward. But if you plan on being in that relationship, you got some work to be done. Let's get to work. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So, from what I was just hearing today, it was like everybody they were all over the place, man. Crimson Cure, she came over, man. She dropped some gems. And basically what she was talking about was and her whole thing was you got to take action. And that's women and men, so it was pretty dope, man. But yeah, brother, I'm definitely, I love the perspectives that everybody have. And I'm definitely going to be on this channel over here, though, bro. Most definitely.
Yeah, you got a spot. You got to share with your name on it, man. Always come through, man. The brothers right here on the panel, TJ, these are the kind of people in the space that the War Report was designed for. You know what I mean? This is the gentleman's room where the walls are dark and the furniture's leather. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yes, sir. But I'm gonna go on here, man. I'm going ahead and check out, man. I gotta get with my boy Black Man Unfiltered. And man, you have a great show tonight.
Man. Yeah, feel free to drop your link in the chat and everything, man. Feel free to promote yourself. You know what I mean? We equal opportunity over here. Yep.
Absolutely. Most definitely, man.
Thanks
I appreciate
for
you guys. Man. Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy, man. All right, Hank.
All right, now, JT.
All right,
JT.
Yes, sir. All right, Rufus. Y'all take it easy. All right, Mr. Chill Out.
Easy.
Yes, sir.
So,
all right, later, good brother.
All right.
I hear JT was talking about doing the work, but we ain't got time to do our damn work. People got to work to make it these days, right? The average man has to work a certain amount of hours, right? Then he needs to rest. Then he has to, they don't time to be grazing. Yeah, we ain't got no time to be grazing no grown ass woman who knows the difference between right and wrong, right? Who knows how to treat a man. She knows how to treat a man. If she wants to be that woman for you, she knows what to do. One thing about women, they are crafty and smart. They know exactly what we want. They know how to cater to us to get what they want. So we ain't got time for all that. She become ready-made like lemonade. That's the simple.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's what Hank was saying. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, I'm going to tell you one time. And then if you don't, that's it. We can't be doing this back and forth. You can't be asking me over and over. You're not a child. So, and I totally agree. But I think men have to be steadfast in their principles, and they got to be ready and willing to leave real quick. I'm gonna tell you this once: you get down, or I'm getting out. I'm out of here faster. Look, don't you blink. You won't see it. But I think men aren't willing to move like that. We don't have that. We haven't reached down and grabbed hold yet to realize what it really is. So until we do,
to stand in their square, man. That's what it is. We scared. Men are scared to stand in their square.
Mr. Chill Out, you're absolutely right, man. And this is what I've observed. The women are beating the man down. They even have been scared to approach them. Right? That women are setting a level of intensity in a dating market. In the workplace, right? That if you might say, hey, you look nice today, that could put you in the management or HR office. Right? These women will enact these things and men have to really navigate around these type of behaviors of women because they're fleeting. They're fleeting. They're cool with you one day, oh y'all killing, y'all high fiving, and then she come in with a bad day. You do the same thing, and you're in HR office, or you've been. Why are you doing? Why are you touching me? Like all these things are prevalent with the Me Too movement, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the women are setting the stage right now in the dating market and the workplace, right? And once again, I wouldn't say we're scared, but we are cautious, right? We are moving with more cautious than times past. And because it's, once again, the system that we in that caters so much to women's rights and all these great things, it is taking away a man's ability to properly lead, right? The leadership is in question. She can be insubordinate, and what can you do? Because Aaron, you know better than me. To be a great leader, once again, you have to have the threat of consequence, man. You have to have that. If you do not get this job done right, then comes this. That's how the soldiers fall in line. If you play soft and nice, soldiers they ain't gonna respect you. They're gonna do what they want to do. Oh, whatever, right? And guess what? They're gonna get you up out there and put somebody else in who can. So this is the destruction of the family right before our eyes, man. I just can't see the women. Men have left their guards down. We're too divided on so many ways on how to present ourselves that I would be surprised in 20 years that women have men in chain shackles around here like dogs.
I believe there's an intense aggression of manipulation from women on the covenant of men, and that's being misused.
Yes, they're leveraging this man and this system of men against the strong men.
And when you're saying in the dating market, the covenant of men and them understanding what that means over a woman, so they're playing that game.
Yes,
of that part. That's why I said it's an intense aggression of manipulation, right? Because they know what they're doing. I do agree. They're not slow. They know what they're doing. And then as men, as we operate and want to have covenant over this woman, your wife is what you're supposed to have, right? And you're thinking that that's who you're finding, but if you're being in a game of manipulation and misinterpretation of what they're giving you, then you're already having a misread because you're not getting the full information. Like Hank said too, and you said it also. It was like, you meet this what we like to call the representation of the person until a year goes by, 2 years go by, then you actually meet the individual. How could you judge that if you were already misled from day one?
So, and to Hank's probably to Aaron's point, right? The why, right? Back to the why, right?
Mm-hmm.
The why is she not paying attention and doing her homework? Right? This is
a manipulation mode.
Right? So once again, right? She is acting in insubordination. So anytime you have to question your woman's allegiance to the journey or to the standard which as men we set for moving our wives or our girlfriends, whatever, out in public, that we've set the table and we have to question it, that is an indictment on her ability to respect what we've provided for her, which is a certain amount of protection, which we're not even charging her for. Listen, everything women have to do that we ask for is free. But just to get time with them and be with them is a fee. Right? So I don't understand why are we sitting here, right, going through all these, well, let's explain. Dude, y'all are wiping out resources from us. And then saying, why not? So if you do not want to, if the women don't want to be with my program, why are you taking my resources? Because once again, she's been conniving. And she's being very, subtle by, I'm going to use you, lose you, and get another man to do the same thing I can with you. And this is why the divorce rate is high. This is why there's so much chaos amongst the dating scene. This is embarrassing.
I think embarrassing is an understatement.
Well, I mean, mean, that's why it's important to have conversation. And I mean, you guys may not know this, but there are some young men coming up that are patrons of this channel, and they watch the shows pretty faithfully, pretty intently. So hopefully, they're seeing all of these different conversations and these interactions and learning, and hopefully they're spreading it to their friends. You young men, if you can hear the sound of my voice now, or even in the replay game, spread this to your friends, show this to your friends. Hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned, stay in touch. You're going to get a lot of good game from from some of the older men that have learned lessons and are doing it the right way. We save you a lot of heartache, man. Because Ruthless Truth is right. It's a bitch out here, and it's only getting worse. So, but there is a fix. Just tune in, and you'll find out what that fix is. It's easier than you think, and it's simpler than you think. You just got to implement it. So I'm looking at the clock. It is 9:30 out here on the East Coast. And as always, I like to divert traffic back to the ladies' POV so we can study some more. That's which we are trying to lead. I'd like to open up the floor for any final thoughts or sentiments, starting with Mr. Hank. Once again, thanks for dropping by. Any pieces of wisdom?
I guess my final thought, man, is black man protect yourself at all times. Whether you gotta get on somebody's couch or somebody's Zoom meeting, man, get your mental right. Go get your A1Cs, your blood work in order, man. Diabetes and heart disease is the biggest killer amongst black men. So do what you got to do in order to take care of yourself. And the men of a certain age, man, make sure you go get your prostate check and your colonoscopies. Colon cancer is a motherfucker, man. And if something that can be very preventable that you can take care of early, as long as you get it detected early and get it tested early, man. Do what you got to do in order for us black men to conquer this world one day. It's going to take us all. Can't do it by myself. So I need y'all here in order to be here. Take care of your health and your wealth. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Aaron, for being up here. Mr. Chill Out. Shout out to you, Ruthless. You sound crazy as hell most of the time, but okay, I'm going to ride with you today. Until the next time, man, I'm going to catch you fellas.
Damn right. Damn right. Yeah, message received with love, man. Appreciate you, Brother Hank, for showing up. And those are great parting words, man. Gentlemen, take heed and get on board with what that man just said. That is, man, I couldn't have said it better, man. We need our soldiers out here. Ruthless Truth, what you got?
So I second what Hank said, but a little bit different. We need to be more cunning. We have to use cunningness over muscle now. For in this country, we've been dismantled from our primitive nature to be physical and be, the tough guy. That is no longer acceptable or plausible in today's country which we're in, right? The government is not allowing that. So we have to be more cunning, more subtle, protect yourself, right? Understand that the woman that you may meet in 2024 may not be the woman you know in 2035, right? So through that journey, that part right there, always protect yourself. That means don't just let all your guards down. You put everything in order. So if she does, and of course you're going to hope that she doesn't, but if she does decide to flip, you're ready. You should be ready. And that's all the information we're giving you here on these channels, all the information we got. So, okay, when this happens, then you should be able to go into plan A, B, C, D, step-by-step process. And I'll land it.
Word, yeah, no, exactly. As much as it is a physical game, it is a mental game as well. You got to be able to fight the war and play the game of chess at the same time. So I can dig it, man. Keep your mind sharp, keep your body sharp, and everything will fall in line. Appreciate the love, support, and wisdom, big brother. Before we get to Mr. Chill Out, I just want to recognize another big brother in the space, Mr. Kasim in the chat. Says every now and then women test your leadership and problem solving and reinforce your decision to continue to stay. I think that's great advice. He's correct. Sometimes he can make it up on the panels when he can, but he's a busy man. But just want to acknowledge that man's presence and wisdom. He's one of the silverbacks, people I like to call silverback gorillas in the space. Mr. Hank is one of them. Guys like myself, Uncle Rick, we're, Mr. Chill Out. We're family men, men with grays in our mane, but we did it the right way. We got it out the mud. We're kicking ass and taking names. Having said that, Mr. Chill Out, what you got for us to close out?
Stay blessed, stay strong, as always, honorably obedient, overcoming dominantly throughout hardship, importantly noticing God's strength. Hood things.
Good things. Exactly. Appreciate you, big brother. I will catch you later tonight, if not tomorrow. We'll continue this build. Brother Hank, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for showing up and blessing the space, man. You're one of the greats out here, man. We love to have you.
Right on, big brother.
Catch us on DJ Ham's channel. Yes, sir. Catch us on DJ Ham's channel. This might be risky for the women's POV tonight on Tuesday and every Tuesday to continue the conversation. As always, it's the big guy, Iceman, Big Aaron, wishing you all the best and reminding you, as always, if you don't go when you want to go, when you do go, you'll find you've gone. Time for us to go. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Good night.